Governor Sharif Oboriwori promises to make the state investors friendly. State government issues demolition notice to illegal occupants of government land. Senate President reiterates commitment to ensure a safer and secured nation. And abroad, Israel War Cabinet holds third meeting on response to Iran's attack. A very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us on the Delta Television Main News at 8. Joy Uche is smiling. Governor Sharif Oboriwori has said his administration will continue to adopt the right measures that will attract investors to the state. Governor Oboriwori stated this while inaugurating the Asaba branch of a new generation bank in Asaba. Ejime Udweme reports.
The governor said his administration would enhance the ease of doing business in the state in order to attract more investors. He noted that the state government had encouraged investors through enhanced peace and security, adding that government was working with security agencies to sustain the peace currently being enjoyed in the state.
I want to assure the board, management, and staff of the bank that they will find Delta State a conducive place for doing business. This administration is very pro-business and is continually seeking ways to enhance the ease of doing business in the state to attract more investors.
He pointed out that Asaba had witnessed an influx of old and new generation banks in the last 5 years because of the city's reputation as a center for trade, commerce, entertainment, and hospitality. Governor Oboriwori said he was excited by the employment opportunities that the bank would bring to Deltas because job creation was one of the cardinal goals of his administration.
Since the founding of the Signature Bank in 2022, it has steadily built a reputation for customized banking services, creative solutions to customer needs, cutting-edge technology, and strong professionalism.
Earlier, the acting managing director of the bank, Mr. Godwin Nosike, said the establishment of a branch of the bank in Asaba was a testament to the bank's belief in the friendly business environment that the state provides. Ejime Uduime, report.
Deputy Governor Samando Onyeme was a dignitaries, including federal and state legislators, who joined the member representing Ndokwa Ukwane Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, Honorable Namdi Ezechi, at a reception in his honor at Okbai, his hometown, in Ndokwa East Local Government Area. Also in attendance were serving and former commissioners, as well as elders and leaders of the State People's Democratic Party, PDP, including the State PDP Secretary, Chief Dan Osai, among other persons. The report.
Also in attendance were the serving and former commissioners, as well as elders and leaders of the State People's Democratic Party, PDP, including the State PDP Secretary, Chief Dan Osai, among other personalities. The Igwe of Okpai Kingdom, Godwin Ugbome, in his remarks described the performance of Honorable Ezechi at the National Assembly as impressive, saying the lawmaker was a pride of the Okpai Kingdom and the Ndokwa nation in general. The royal father later conferred titles on Honorable Ezechi and his wife in recognition of his commitment to the development of his constituency and the Ndokwa nation. Responding, Honorable Ezechi thanked his people for the honor done him and promised to remain a good ambassador of the Okpai Kingdom, the Ndokwa nation, and Delta State at large. He thanked Governor Sharif Oboriwori for his support and encouragement just as he appreciated the immediate past governor of the state, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, and all others who helped shape his political career.
I'm very happy today, and I will continue to be happy because I know for Igwe to have honored me, that means that I need to do more to change the narrative. God bless all of you. God bless you. And God will continually to bless the palace.
The lawmaker urged the people of Ndukwa Ukwani to remain supportive to the PDP and the Oborevwori administration, pledging to continue to strive to attract the needed development to the constituency.
Oborevwori has sent names of nominees to the State House of Assembly for screening and confirmation to fill in positions as chairman and members of the Delta State Bureau for Pensions, the Delta State Job and Wealth Creation Bureau, and the Delta State Independent Electoral Commission, DSEC. The governor has also sought for a bill for a law to amend the Delta State structures for Signage and Advertisement Agency Law 2015, in letters read by the Speaker, the Right Honorable Emma Motimiko, at the resumption of plenary after the Easter and Eid al-Fitr break. Favor Okafor has details.
The nominees are the immediate past Commissioner for Youth Development, Mr. Ifeanyi Ewuyenga, to serve as the Chief Job, Wealth and Creation Officer of the Delta State Job and Wealth Creation Bureau, Mr. Jude Emorotu as Member DSEC, and Mr. Edwin Ogidigbebaje, a retired Permanent Secretary in the State Civil Service, as Chairman, Delta State Bureau for Pensions. The Speaker, the Right Honorable Wong, then charged the nominees to send 35 copies of their curriculum vitae to the Office of the Clerk on or before Monday and appear for screening on Tuesday. On the Governor's request for amendment of the State Structures for Signage and Advertisement Agency Law of 2015, Governor Oborevwori said the amendment will enhance collaboration between the state and local governments on administration and revenue collection from signage and advertisements in the state.
I wish to bring to the kind attention of the Right Honorable Speaker and members of the Delta State House of Assembly the need for the law to amend the Delta State Structure for Signage and Advertisement Agency Law 2015 and for other matters connected therewith.
Also at plenary, a 7-member committee to be headed by the Majority Leader, Honorable Emeka Nwobi, was inaugurated by the Speaker to oversee the activities to mark the first anniversary of the 8th Assembly on June 13. The House also received a report by its Public Petitions Committee, led by its chairman and member representing Ughelli North 1 constituency, Honorable Matthew Omonade, on the alleged unlawful dismissal of one Mr. Solomon Ugochukwu from service by the Delta State Civil Service Commission, where the committee recommended that the House should dismiss the petition for lack of merit and uphold the Civil Service Commission decision on the matter. The House also barred the petitioner from bringing the petition again before the State House of Assembly. The committee's decision enjoyed unanimous support from the lawmakers.
The committee urges the House to direct the respondents to uphold the dismissal if carried out of the petitioner to serve as different to other different civil servants. 3. That the House to affirm the dismissal of the petitioner for the Delta State Civil Service by the Delta State Civil Service Commission. And lastly, that in order to bring finality to this issue, the committee urges the House to ban the petitioner from presenting this petition again before the Delta State House of Assembly.
The Speaker had earlier welcomed members back to plenary after the short break, urging them to ensure that all pending bills were concluded before the end of the first section of the 8th Assembly. Favor Okafor reporting.
The state government has issued a demolition notice to illegal occupiers of government lands, particularly in the Dennis Asadebe University, Asaba. The chairman of the Task Force on Recovery of Government Lands, Chief Frank Omare, gave the notice during an inspection of the affected lands in Asaba. Over again to Ojime Udweme.
Chief Omare said that government would no longer tolerate illegal structures built on government lands by land speculators. Areas visited by the committee included 74 Road, Musa Camp, and Denis Osadebe University, Anwai, Asaba. Chief Omare said adequate notice was given to the illegal developers and appealed to developers to make appropriate inquiries before buying any land, as ignorance was not an excuse.
We have a new lease agreement with the landowners or the family or the Awan people. I'm very sorry. They were misled to buy government land and build on government land. It's a pity. Musa Camp and one of those illegal names in that place. There's not like a Musa Camp in Awan. Pack your load. Evacuate the place. We are not only coming, we are there now.
The Vice Chancellor of the Denis Osadebe University, Asaba, Professor Ben Owojafo, debunked claims that the university sold land to developers at the Musa camp and pledged the university's support to the committee to recover its lands.
Mr. Chairman, you have the 100% support of this university to demolish every land within the coordinates of approved land to Denis Osadebe University. I have no reason or poverty or otherwise induced, compelled, and encouraged to sell 1 meter of land of Denis Osadebe University.
At the Nsopi area, a representative of the community, Mr. Ikeme Funa Akboku, thanked Governor Sheriff Oborewuri for his efforts to recover lands belonging to the Denis Osadebe University being encroached upon.
Why we are here is to show solidarity with the Delta State government. As a family, Onishei as a family, we are in total support of the activities of Delta State government in trying to recover their properties illegally encroached upon.
Earlier, a delegation from the Iyase and Onishi families of Asaba had protested to Government House Asaba to state their claim to the lands. The group appealed to government to allow the families to reacquire part of the land, stressing that demolition areas already built on would render them homeless. The Chief of Staff, Government House Asaba, Honorable Johnson Erijo, who received the delegation, thanked them for the peaceful protest and assured them that their requests will be channeled to the governor for prompt action.
I have to commend you for making this demonstration a very peaceful one. And I want to assure, like most of you are seeing and chanting here, you were the people that voted for this government, isn't it? And obviously, the government you voted for, you are even saying you are still going to vote for him. So, having said all this government too is not an oppressive government.
He said government was committed to ensuring that illegal acquisition of land was not tolerated and for communities to access their legitimate land. Ejime Uduime reporting.
Senate President Godswill Akpabio has pledged cooperation and support of the National Assembly for better policing of Nigeria. Senator Akpabio made the pledge at the maiden edition of the Nigerian Police Awards and Commendations ceremony held in Abuja. He commended the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kayode Betokon, and the entire leadership of the Nigerian Police Force for organizing the event and urged them to use the occasion to celebrate achievements of the Nigerian Police Force and to reiterate the commitment to working together for a safer and more secure Nigeria. In addition to the awards given on various aspects of policing, posthumous awards and memorial recognition of fallen heroes were given to the 7 police personnel killed at Ogele Forest on 20th February. Senator Akpabio, while making the presentation of the posthumous awards on behalf of the Nigerian police, announced that he would support each of the families with 1 million naira to pay their way back home, while the Senate institution made a commitment to support families of the deceased with 20 million naira. And still to come on the Delta Television main news at 8. Federal government declares April 7 National Police Day. Details shortly. Stay with us. And thank you for staying on. You are watching the Delta Television main news at 8. The federal government has declared April 7 as National Police Day. Vice President Kashim Shettima disclosed this in Abuja during the Maiden Award and Commendations event organized by the Nigerian Police Force. He said, despite Nigeria facing immense security challenges, the resilience of its citizens stems from the unwavering dedication of the police force. Alhaji Shettima gave an assurance that the government would upgrade the equipment and technology of the force to enhance its operational effectiveness and efficiency, especially ammunition and armored carriers, to provide cover and protection for officers in combat situations. The Vice President said the endeavors will be supported by suitable measures to enhance status of officers and men of the force during their service and after retirement. He emphasized the need to engage men and women of the force in training and capacity building to equip them with the expertise required to carry out the arduous task of modern policing. And the global scene is next as we join our World News Desk.
Israel's War Cabinet met today for the third time in 3 days to decide on a response to Iran's first-ever direct attack amid international pressure to avoid further escalating Middle East conflicts. Military Chief of Staff Herzi Halevi had promised that Saturday's night launch of more than 300 missiles, cruise missiles and drones from Iran at Israeli territory will be met with a response, but gave no details. While the attack caused no deaths and little damage, thanks to the air defenses and countermeasures of Israel and its allies, it has increased fear that violence rooted in the Gaza war is spreading, with the risk of open war between longtime foes, Iran and Israel. Iran launched the attack in retaliation for an airstrike on its embassy compound in Damascus on April 1st, attributed to Israel, but signaled that it did not seek further escalation. U.S. President Joe Biden told Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the weekend that the United States, Israel's main protector, would not participate in an Israeli counterstrike. Together with European allies, Washington instead strove today to toughen economic and political sanctions against Iran in an attempt to dissuade Israel from violent retaliation. Conservative U.S. Supreme Court justices today signaled skepticism toward an obstruction charge brought by the Justice Department against a Pennsylvania man in the 2021 Capitol attack, a case with possible implications for the prosecution of Mr. Donald Trump for trying to overturn his 2020 election laws. The justices heard arguments in Joseph Fisher's appeal of a lower court's ruling, rejecting his attempt to escape a federal charge of corruptly obstructing an official proceeding. The congressional certification of President Joe Biden's victory over Trump that Reuters sought to prevent on January 6, 2021. Mr. Trump, the Republican candidate challenging the Democratic president in the November 5th U.S. election, in a 2020 rematch, faces the same charge in a criminal case brought against him last year by special counsel Jack Smith. The Supreme Court has a 6-3 conservative majority. Some of the conservative justices posed tough questions to Solicitor General Elizabeth Prelogar about the Justice Department's application of an obstruction provision in the 2002 Sarbanes-Oxley Act. passed after the accounting fraud scandal at the now-defunct energy company, Enron, to Fisher's case. The opposition in Togo has denounced a proposed new constitution as a power grab intended to extend the reign of President Faure Gnassingbé. The reforms should see the West Africa country move from a presidential to a parliamentary system. But the opposition says there are rules to keep Mr. Gnassingbé already in his fourth term in power. The president's supporters says the changes would reduce the powers of the head of state by transforming the presidency into a ceremonial role. Human Rights Minister Yawa Jigbodi says they will improve democracy in the country, but the opposition says the reforms would allow him to remain president until 2031, and then he be appointed to the new position of president of the Council of Ministers. In effect, Prime Minister continuing his family's 57-year rule. President Gnassingbé came to power in 2005 after the death of his father, who had been president since 1967. The constitutional changes were approved by lawmakers last month, but in the face of mounting public anger, Mr. Gnassingbé paused the reforms and said they will be subject to further consultations.
Back home, Governor Sheriff Oboriwori has congratulated the immediate past deputy governor of the state, Deacon Kingsley Otuaro, on his 56th birthday. In a statement by his chief press secretary, Sir Festus Ahon, Governor Oboriwori told Deacon Otuaro for his contributions to the smart agenda and stronger Delta developmental vision of the immediate past administration. Governor Oboriwori paid glowing tributes to Deacon Otuaro for his outstanding contributions to peace in the Niger Delta through his chairmanship of the Peace Advocacy Committee against oil facility vandalism, which culminated in improved oil production in the state and the country at large. He said it was in recognition of the celebrant's roles in peace building in the oil-producing areas that earned him the Niger Delta Peace Ambassador Award 2019 by the Daily Independent Newspapers Limited. The governor said as a former deputy governor and a People's Democratic Party stalwart, Deacon Otuaro made significant and remarkable contributions to the development of the state. Governor Oboriwori wished Deacon Otuaro wisdom, good health in service to God and humanity. Let's now join our business news desk for happenings in the business sector.
The Association of the Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, APCON, says the Nigeria currency Naira has appreciated faster than expected against the United States dollar. The president of the association, Mr. Aminu Gwadabe, in a television program today said that BDC operators buy the dollar at 980 Naira per dollar and sell at 1,020 Naira per dollar, as against the official rate of 1,161 Naira per dollar by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Naira has appreciated against the dollar in recent weeks, gaining over 40% from about $1,900 early January to about 1,100 Naira per dollar now. The Apex Bank has since introduced a number of policies to strengthen the Naira against foreign exchange, including settling about $7 billion valid foreign exchange backlogs, selling foreign exchange to over 1,500 BDC operators at official rates, clamped down on cryptocurrency platforms like Binance, accused of speculations, among others. The BDC chief applauded the current administration for its efforts so far, saying it's the first time in the last 15 years that dollar will exchange in the parallel market lesser than at the official rates. The Securities and Exchange Commission of Nigeria has announced the Virtual Capital Market Committee meeting for the first quarter of 2024. The meeting, which is scheduled for Thursday, will focus on addressing pressing challenges and brainstorming strategic ideas to advance the Nigeria capital market. It emphasized that the meeting will focus on critical issues affecting the market and ensure that those concerns were thoroughly addressed. It added that market players will be given updates on significant accomplishments by the various technical committees, including the Commodities Ecosystem Implementation Committee, e-dividend and direct cash settlement, financial literacy, and the Non-Interest Capital Markets Financial Literacy Technical Committee.
As the world marks the International Day of Sports, the critical role of sports in bringing people together has once again come to the forefront. Sports reporter Henry Osiayo spoke with a cross-section of respondents on the role of sports in peace and development.
The role of sports in promoting peaceful coexistence and inclusiveness cannot be overemphasized, as it has become a veritable tool for preaching oneness and breaking ethnic and gender barriers. Towards this end, the United Nations set aside April 6 yearly to commemorate the International Day of Sport for Development and Peace, IDSDP. The theme of this year's observance is Sport for the Promotion of Peaceful and Inclusive Societies. Some sport administrators highlighted how sports has contributed to gender inclusiveness.
Sports generally, it's a total accepted industry. Let me start by describing it as an industry where it knows no barrier, it knows no gender, it knows no ethnicity.
Sports creates employment for a lot of youths, and it's something that is talent-based. A lot of these youths, they make their living from sports, especially when they, make good progress in their career. So we need to, both the government and corporate entities, private bodies, they need to come in and encourage our athletes, take them away from the streets.
That can bring all of us together. It can unite everybody. You see people quarreling, and when it comes to sport, they are all together. Everybody has their team that they support in sports. Nobody can go and say, I don't have any team. Everybody is supporting a team in sport, and sport has brought everybody together.
Others acknowledge that sports has changed their fortunes and made them better persons in the society.
Although I'm from a modest family, but sport has taken me to where I've never dreamt that I would be. It has taken me, it has led me to see people. Sport gave me the opportunity to even be educated. Because through sports, I was spotted in secondary school playing football, where I was signed, and also encouraged, given scholarship to go to high institution and the rest.
Sports journalists underscore the critical role of sports in putting gender and ethnic barriers aside to unite the country, and urge governments at all levels to invest more in sports.
Has what we call that force, that stimulating force to bring together, irrespective of religion, irrespective of culture, irrespective of race. It has that stimulus, that ability, that magnet to connect people from diverse fields across profession.
Get these lads young from the schools and nourish them, refurbish them, and of course take them out for training. They can really become breadwinners, and we can take them off the streets. So for inclusiveness, sports have shown to be a unifying factor across the world. And in Delta states where I am here, sports have shown that it can really alleviate the poverty, the poor talents. Like they say, the local parents, footballers don't come from rich men's family.
Sport has the power to align the passion, energy, and the enthusiasm of a collective cause, and that is precisely when hope can be nurtured and trust regained. It is therefore the collective interest to harness the tremendous power of sport to help build a better and more sustainable future for all. Henry Osiayo reports.
And that's our news. Here's a thought for the day. Never give up, because great things takes time. And now to end the Delta Television main news at 8, here are the highlights. Governor Sheriff Oboriwori has said his administration will continue to adopt the right measures that will attract investors to the state. Governor Oboriwori stated this while inaugurating the Asaba branch of a new generation bank in Asaba. The state government has issued a demolition notice to illegal occupiers of government lands, particularly in the Denis Sosadebe University, Asaba. The chairman of the Task Force on Recovery of Government Lands, Chief Frank Omare, gave the notice during an inspection of the affected lands in Asaba. Senate President Godswill Akpabio has pledged the cooperation and support of the National Assembly for better policing of Nigeria. Senator Akpabio made the pledge at the maiden edition of the Nigerian Police Awards and Commendations ceremony held in Abuja. And we also reported from abroad, Israel's War Cabinet was set to meet for the third time in 3 days today to decide on a response to Iran's first ever direct attack amidst international pressure to avoid further escalating Middle East conflicts. Military Chief of Staff Herzi Halevi had promised that Saturday night's launch of more than 300 missiles, cruise missiles and drones from Iran at Israeli territory will be met with a response, but gave no details. That's our news. Thank you so much for watching. On behalf of the news crew, Joy Ochei is my name. Good night.